Hey everybody, this is Nick from Android Headlines. Today I'm going to be bringing you a little more in-depth look at the Doogee Valencia 2. Now the Valencia 2 is a $100 phone from Doogee. It normally actually retails for about $120, but we've got it for about $100 through GearBest. So you can check that out in our review. We've got a link at the bottom of that. This is the Valencia 2. I'll go over in the box first. So for $100, normally you would probably expect to just get a phone and a charger in the box. This thing actually comes with a screen protector, a little microfiber cloth, a pair of headphones which are under this paper that's difficult to remove, and of course the charger and the USB cable. So pretty considerable value on this thing. Looking at the phone itself, we'll check out the hardware. So as you can see, I got the pink version, which I wasn't real crazy about walking around in public, but you know, I guess you get over these sort of things. They have a whole bunch of different color shells. The front is a black front, and then the different color shells. I think there's 5 different color shells. They're all pastel. I guess black and white as well. So similar to like an iPhone 5C kind of color scheme, if you will. You have the hardware buttons on the side here, your volume rocker and power buttons, your ports up there. On the front you have 3 capacitive buttons, your back, home, and menu, which, you know, menu button is unfortunate, but whatever. Eventually we'll get rid of this thing. Alright, so now we're going to go through a little software overview. So first, I guess we'll just start with the lock screen, since that's what you're going to see when you turn the phone on anyway. As you can see from the color palette, it matches the back of the phone. I'm assuming Doogee probably does this with the different colors that you get it with. The lock screen is interesting because it will go either to camera or to just unlock here instead of swiping left or right like many other lock screens will. So the screen itself is super saturated. It's difficult to see exactly on video how this looks, and obviously looking at the little window that we have to the side here is not going to show exactly what this looks like in person. But this screen is super saturated. It's very, very vibrant. The colors are probably a little unrealistic, and it's ultra bright too. I have it at almost the lowest brightness now, and it's still very bright. Just in general, it's really, really easy to see in the sun because it's so bright, and it actually uses a fairly low amount of battery given the brightness of the screen, I guess, compared to other phones. Looking through some of the apps, you'll see that Doogee's OS actually runs on KitKat, which it doesn't really look like KitKat at first, especially when you look at the title bar up top here, which is typically a lollipop thing. This looks a little more like maybe iOS or MIUI would. We'll just check a few of these apps here so you can see they're all different colors, which is very helpful when moving to the multitasking screen because then you have your different color title bars and your icons at the bottom and that sort of thing. You can swipe down to lock it in memory, you can swipe up to get rid of it, and then you have this to close all the running apps. So it's not exactly a great way to get to it because you have to hold down home. Doogee also offers a way to double tap home to get to it, but still I'd rather have a dedicated overview button. Of course, not a lot you can do about that, but what are you going to do? If you take a look at the notification shade, you'll see that it's got the glass look to it that a lot of other Chinese devices have, especially as in MIUI, very similar to that, or Emotion UI, or some of the other ones that are out there. The quick toggles are really good. They give you a lot of information, what Wi-Fi you're connected to, alarms, all sorts of great things. Really easy way to get into the battery, settings. It's just a very well-designed tray. If you're looking at the settings here, we'll go through a couple of these settings. Alright, so first we're going to take a look at the 3 notification LEDs, which are actually located on the side here. You won't be able to see them because there's not any notifications for me to work with. But when you go into the control panel here, you'll see that you have a missed call, unread messages, and then a custom app. So the missed call is a dedicated one, the unread messages is a dedicated LED, and the custom app or any other notification is a separate LED as well. So you'll always have the missed call and unread messages. And then the third one you can either pick from a single app or all the other ones. It just depends on how you feel like displaying all the information. Next thing we're going to look at is the back touch panel, which is a really interesting and unique little spot. It's right here. It's basically a square about this big. If you take off the back, you can see exactly how large it is. I'm not going to do that right now. But it works exactly as it would on the screen. So if you take this and you swipe it, I guess I should go home. That'd be a little easier to do. Take this and you swipe it, it works exactly the same as it would if you were touching the screen. So I don't really care for this thing because I keep hitting it when I go there, but if you like it, it might be something you can get used to. You also find that you can use it to unlock the phone. You can use it for camera. I'm going to turn it off right now because I don't want to scroll accidentally while I'm doing the video. And there's a few other things you can do as well. You can select a different application if you don't want to launch the camera. The next thing that we're going to look at are the smart gestures in the smart wake system. So smart gestures are the little hovering things. So if you remember from the Galaxy S4 commercials where you hover over and you can scroll through different applications, they've got that on here. Smart wake is the double tap to wake, or they have different letters that you can draw for different applications on here as well. We'll go ahead and just run through some of these here. You got 3-finger screenshot, so you can basically take 3 fingers, drag down. I can't remember exactly. It's kind of a weird gesture to do the screenshot. I think it's pinch in. Yeah, there we go. It's pinch in with 3 fingers. You have different panels down here, quick torch, that sort of thing. These are all for the lock screen. So on the lock screen, you can hold down the home button and it'll activate the torch. The last thing we're going to look at is security, which is a big thing for Chinese phones. A lot of Chinese phones have this where you can choose which apps start automatically. So all these apps right here start automatically with the phone. If you don't want one of these to start, you can say, alright, I don't want Flickr to start. We'll go ahead, there we go. Next time I reboot, it won't start at all unless I open the app. The next thing we'll look at is app permissions, which this is a nice way to control what apps use which permissions. So let's say we can see ones that can make calls, alright? So we'll go in here, alright, Hangouts and Mobizen can make calls. So if I don't want Hangouts to be able to make calls, I'll just tell it, nope, no calls for you, Hangouts, thanks. If you'd rather go to an individual app, we'll just say Google Drive, for instance. That's got 3 permissions. I don't feel like letting Google Drive send text. That's kind of weird to me, so I'll go ahead and deny that. So this is a great feature that is not in stock Android, and it's not in a lot of other versions of Android too, like Samsung, LG. Those kind of OEMs don't usually have this sort of thing. In general, it's very pretty OS. It's very iOS-like, but if you like that, this is a great place to go. Gives you all the features of Android. Gives you a look maybe that you prefer over another one. And if you want Lollipop, it's possible there will be a Lollipop update. But in all honesty, this really helps with KitKat not feeling so old. So thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Go ahead and check out the full review on the site. We have a lot more info for you on there.